leaders. And I want to read a passage here as he was at Prairie. You've talked about this on numerous occasions and such, but one of the issues that I want us to delve into, in addition to the ground shifting, is the matter of leadership. Good. Right? And what is leadership? What is ethical leadership? But here's our brother Robert C. Smith talking. At a lecture at Prairie View A&M University in 1989, in response to a question asking him to evaluate black leaders, Harold Cruz responded, "What leaders? We have no leaders." The puzzled student questioner responded by listing the familiar names of the heads of the civil rights organizations, members of Congress, and big city mayors. Cruz, responding with evident irritation, said that those persons were not leaders, Brother Beyonce, because they had no plan, no program of action, and no organization to mobilize or lead blacks in a direction that would deal with their communal problems. Brother Moss, your response to that, your critique of that.
I have to tell you, I have met Harold Cruz.
Yes, sir.
And I know how he would become exasperated when you would have people talking nonsense.
Yes, sir.
You know, Cruz was not a trained scholar. He was a person that had pretty much studied on his own. And because he had written this book called The Crisis of the Negro Intellectual, he was really in a class by himself.
Yes.
He did not suffer fools gladly. And when those students, I can imagine how that room must have been when they were asking him about black leadership. And when Cruz said, "What leadership?" And they began to name the heads of these organizations, naming Jesse Jackson.
Okay, all right.
Al Sharpton.
Yes.
I mean, give me a break. So Cruz was the kind of person to become exasperated when you start asking questions like they consider those questions to be very dumb. And so he's saying here that they had no program.
Yes.
See, it's one thing, like with King. King would say, "I have a dream."
Yes.
He did not say, "I have a plan."
Okay.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
And so you can dream all you want to. Some kids believe that Dr. King was sleeping and he was dreaming. But the question is, what's the plan?
Yes.
And we still are asking that question. This is 60 years after King fell in Memphis. This is Malcolm X fell on the floor of the Alderman Ballroom in '65. And we still asking that question: what is the plan, so that we can all begin to see what it is we're trying to do and what our leadership is trying to do? And we have not yet defined the plan. That's why we have so much scattered energy right now. It's not focused. So I understand what Cruz was saying, and I would endorse the title of the book by Robert C. Smith. Smith did not believe, by the way, that Cruz was correct in his saying there's no black leaders. But what he did, being a scholar as he was, Robert C. Smith being a scholar, he understood that Cruz was no lightweight. And for him to have said that, it carried weight with him. So he went out to do his own investigation. And that's why he says later on in that passage you read that this book is a reference to the acuity of Cruz's observation. In other words, he didn't accept Cruz's idea at first, but going out and doing his own research, he saw that what Cruz had said really had some soundness to it. And the question for leadership is, it's like what John Henry Clark said: lead us where you're trying to lead us.
Yes.
And I don't think they really have an answer to that question even now. We're just out here. A lot of
freestyling.
We're rhetoricians.
Yes.
We're great speakers. But the microphone is not the problem.
Well, so from a millennial perspective, Brother Beyonce, what's your perspective on the passage that we just read and the statement that Professor Moss just made here?
I say it still continues on. What?
Project.
Oh, I say it still continues on.
Okay.
Really, even though we have like things that pop up, like I want to mention Black Lives Matter, but like people use that like there was no leader for Black Lives Matter. But even for movements that we have a movement that goes on.
Yes.
But then it stops.
Okay.
And then the people that still go on doing it, they're like scattered.
Okay. Okay.
It's not centralized. We don't have we don't have a centralized like leadership. We don't have, like you said, we don't have a plan. And we don't really. It's all temporary at times, because it's like, well, if something pops up, then we'll march and we'll do something about it.
Okay.
But then it ends, right?
Yeah. Then what happens next, right?
It's like exactly. Okay. What's happening next? Why we're not continuing on like with these fights? Because like the institution is definitely against us.
Okay, absolutely.
Like that's not wrong. So like we need a plan for real. Individually. Individually, we succeed and we become excellent, but like as like a plan, like coming together, that doesn't happen. But if it does, somebody gets like taken off. But that's like conspiracy.
Okay,
we're talking about conspiracy, but like when we do have somebody we can back, maybe something happens, and then we're against them all of a sudden. Well, we're not loyal and faithful. It doesn't say it, because like the same thing we've been fighting against since Dr. King, Malcolm X.
Sure.
That it still goes on.
True.
Maybe behind the scenes, but nothing's really changed. I knew that back when I was in high school, like when Obama was like elected, right?
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh, we're done." I'm like, "No, we're not finished. Like, we're not finished at all."
We were right.
We're talking about
no doubt.
Like, because like he won, but he barely won.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like still 50% of the country that don't believe in him.
True.
Trump now. He was this close to being impeached. They're like, nah. No. Like, it's just like we're fighting against so many things, but like the plan isn't there. Like everything's just done. It's there.
Okay.
It fizzles in the pot, and then it's just gone.
Okay.
When Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, when Malcolm is on that floor of the Harlem Ballroom, and King is on the balcony, April the 4th, 1968, there's a lot of sincerity that had been struck down. These men were focused and they were sincere, and by them being absented from the struggle, you could see what the aftermath of that was. We lost something very great at that time, and we are on the other side of the tragedies. So we can see what we lost because we were there when King was making his witness. And Malcolm, that kind of dates us, but you remember Malcolm.
Absolutely.
Right, back in the time period. So we look at what was going on at that time. A lot of energy in the black community. A lot of people out there committed to the struggle and so on and so forth. And really, what both of them did was they mothered a number of other organizations into existence. The SLC was a springboard. You talking about millennials?
Yes.
The SLC was a millennial that brought the millennials in from the SNCC. The ministers were the elders in the movement. And the SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Silky Carmichael. John Lewis. John Lewis, who is the representative right now. I heard he's not doing too well health-wise. But John Lewis, who was the founding, was the second member, the second leader of SNCC. Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. And guess who was the first one, by the way? The mayor. Remember the mayor?
Marion Barry.
Marion Barry was a student. He was a chemistry student.
Said he was extremely bright too.
He was very bright. But you see, not everybody has the long range plan. It's like you gotta have a long range plan because you're not gonna meet your objective overnight. You start out the race and you're just so excited. And then somebody come in there and they kind of throw a little something at you. A little money at the table. And before you know it, you forgot what you were trying to do. That's a different leadership.
That's right.
So when I look at King on April the 4th, having said the day before, I may not get there with you.
Yes.
I think that was not prophetic because you can see that is not what occurred in the aftermath of King's death. died at 39 years of age, died too young, and too much of the movement left with King because they didn't have a person in the SLC of that magnitude. Ralph Abernathy couldn't do it, and somebody ought to go and read Ralph Abernathy's great book. Read it both in the hardback and the softback.
Yes,
the hardback because that's the historical basis of the movement. He was with King wherever King went. The softback though is important because given the fact he had written the hardback book, getting criticized for having put some things out, some secrets that were not supposed to be quote unquote revealed. Idea, don't air your dirty laundry. Abernathy had told the whole story. Otherwise, he would have lost tremendous credibility if he just said all the wonderful things, then talked about the whole thing that was going on. He would have lost all kind of credibility. So, telling some things in the background, people came at him. But Ralph Abernathy answered his critics in the other book, the softback version, came out in 1989, and he did a job in terms of answering what they were trying to say. They were trying to say he sold King out. He did not. He did not sell King out. What he did was he gave us the whole Dr. King. And it made us. It made me at least admire more. And I would tell my students this in the classroom. By the way, I would tell them that if King is above reproach, if he had a certain perfection about him, and we know how flawed we are. You know, we all flawed.
Absolutely.
And if King was perfect, then how can you tell children to aspire to be Dr. King or be a person like him in their own life, doing what they have to do to further the cause that King stood for? You can't even aspire to that if you're talking about a perfect example. And so King was not a perfect example; he was a great example. But there's no perfect example out there other than the one we hold above all mankind. And King was not. He was not a saint. But he was not a sellout either. And that's something we lost on that floor. And then we talk about leadership today. You don't have leaders. You don't have leaders that are willing to be sacrificial. These leaders today, they want the cars. They want. They want the fineries. You know, if you're going to be a leader, there's some sacrifice involved with that. And I don't think a lot of us today want to pay that price. Because we want the benefits of it. And King was selfless like that in terms. You know, like for example, when King got the Nobel Peace Prize, that prize came with $50,000. You know what King did with that money? King donated that money to the SLC.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In fact, there's a lady that he donated the money to the
SLC. No doubt.
How many person $50,000? That's a Cadillac.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And a lot of people are going on the yacht. On a vacation with their whole family.
Absolutely.
That wasn't Dr. King. And I have so much respect for him because he stood there knowing, if you listen to King very carefully, April 3rd, you could hear that Dr. King knew. All of us have a certain sixth sense. You know, something getting ready to happen.
Absolutely.
You don't know what it is, but you have something troubling your spirit.
That's true.
King was talking about that April the 3rd, one night before he was killed. He said there was some began to talk about the threats that were out, about some threats were out from some of our sick white brothers, and he said about what would happen to me. He said, but it doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop, and I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So King was bothered. His spirit. I don't know if people realize when King got through with that speech, King fell
collapsed.
Out.
He collapsed. In the arms of
Jesse Jackson. Ralph had to help him to his seat. Because it was a weight on Dr. King. And Dr. King was on that balcony the next night. And when that shot rang out, Dr. King was struck down one day after he pretty much was prophetically saying that he may not get there, and he did not get there. He lasted one more day. He went on that mountain, and they struck him down on that mountain. But the movement was injured by that. These men, these people in the '60s, mostly coming out of the South, by the way. You know, if you look at these were Southern leaders that had been grounded in black institutions.
All right.
King coming out of Morehouse. King came out of Morehouse College at the age of 19.
Yeah.
That was a grounding point, having gone to black schools, segregated schools, these black institution schools, and taught by nothing but blacks up until the time we went to Morehouse, and then Morehouse to Boston, where he got his PhD degree. So this grounding point, this was a Southern movement. We don't often talk about this. Was a Southern movement. This was a Southern Christian leadership conference. So it's based in the South. And I brought this. I knew we were going to talk about some of the things with King. I wanted to read this about what King said in another one of his major addresses.
Okay.
This is the one he gave in 1957.
Okay.
It was May the 17th.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Victor. What do you think? What do you think he was celebrating on May the 17th?
Was it the vote? Give us the vote. Give us the ballot.
What was the occasion that they were celebrating? 3 years earlier, it had occurred.
Brown versus Board of Education.
So King on the 3rd anniversary. Is in Washington for the first time. We all know about the second time, which was August 28, 1963. We don't know about the one that he spoke in Washington before 20,000, 25,000, where he was speaking on the 3rd anniversary of Brown versus Board of Education. Now, I want to read what King said on that, just a couple of lines here, because what King is saying is very important. In the 57 March on Washington, the prayer pilgrimage, as they call it. Here's what King said. Give us the ballot. And we will no longer have to worry the federal government about our basic rights. This is one right here, because it says it 6 times. Give us the ballot, and we will no longer plead to the federal government for passage of an anti-lynching law. You see, the ballot. King understands the ballot is why they're doing that in the South. In other words, they're keeping blacks from the polls. Reason why Bull Carter, the Klan, and all the rest of those persons were in fact out there beating blacks. What were they beating blacks? They were beating them at the polls. You're beating them down. Because if they can advantage one group while beating the other group away from the polls, they can then push this racism narrative to get their vote. While not letting the ones that racism was directed against do vote. That's been hidden. You know why? Because 80 to 90% of black people voting Democrat now. That's right. Because if they understood what the movement was really about, and here's what I'm reading was about, give us the ballot, and we will fill legislative halls with men of goodwill. Give us the ballot, and we will place judges on the benches of the South. Listen to this carefully. Who will do justly and love mercy. Give us the ballot, and we will quietly and non-violently, with rancor, without rancor or bitterness, implement the Supreme Court's decision, May the 17th, 1954. King is asking for the ballot because King is recognizing the reason why they get this treatment is going on here by the Democratic Party, by the way. We've seen the effect of that by the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party was the in the South was the basis of the power of the Democratic Party in the South. That's where the Dixiecrats were. The solid South was the solid South was Democratic, and so King is now recognizing 2 years into the Civil Rights Movement, which has started with Rosa Parks on December the 1st. Really, that's when she was arrested. 4 days later, she was arrested on Thursday. 4 days later, that Monday. Those blacks boycotting that bus because they messed with the wrong one. And by Rosa Parks sitting down, as they say, a whole people in the South stood up. And they were waiting for the moment to stand up. And Rosa Parks gave them that moment. But King, 2 years after the movement had started, is using his credentials, his leadership. He's now in Washington speaking about the real problem they're facing down there. They're getting beat down because they didn't have the ballot. And guess what happened? Once the ballot was in fact bestowed upon blacks, as it should have been done, as it should have been done when they had the passage of the 15th Amendment. See, don't forget now, we had civil rights amendments passed in the aftermath of the so-called Civil War. So-called Civil War.
Yeah, yeah.
We haven't had a civil war in this country. This was a war of Southern secession.
Yeah, yeah.
The cover-up was that it's a civil war to cover up exactly the crimes that been committed in this war by Sherman and some of the others. And one day we have to talk about that.
Absolutely.
That's another part of history that's gotten lost. But
I want to hear about that.
Yeah, no doubt.
We have to clear up a lot of things here.
Yeah.
Because because Malcolm said this.
Yeah.
Malcolm said, of all our studies, history is best qualified to reward all research. And when you have people have problems similar to yours, and you find out how to get their business straight, then you know how to get your business straight.
True.
History is a qualifier of the behavior. And a lot of people, like you got a friend back there, you and I, Mike Amar, love him to death.
Good old Mike. Yeah, that's right.
Mike.
That's right.
But Mike says, when I'm saying some things differently now that I did back in the time period, Mike said, "Come on, Moss, you were saying this." Yeah, back in the time period, do we learn something from history?
Yeah, we do. I'm
not doing that anymore. History is a lesson to be learned.
True.
And we want to act like we go over the same territories, now we are doing the same thing over again.
Exactly.
I'm not doing that. Getting the same outcome.
Yeah.
So Malcolm told us that history is best qualified to reward our research. And when you have people that have problems similar to yours, and you find out how to get their business straight, then you know how to get your business straight. History is taught that lesson. And there are a lot of things. If we're going to honor King, let's find out where the errors were in fact made. Because I'll tell you something, we don't need any more martyrs.
Yeah, this is true. We
don't need any more leaders shot down. And I'll shut up when I say this point. I just want to say one other thing about that on that line.
Absolutely.
And that is this. When there are people that get on, I post every day on Facebook. I probably write the longest post on Facebook. Because I look up, I'm typing, and I look up, I got, that's 5 days, I cut this stuff down. They're not going to let me post that. Get out of here, Mo. Shut up. So I have to cut it down. But I still look like the longest post.
Yes.
So one of the persons from Flint got on my wall and was saying Malcolm and saying something about King and things of that sort. Complimented him and all that. And was saying, well, you are making these comments about Malcolm, made this comment about King. I was commenting both of them.
Okay.
But I have to recognize both of them ended up in a way in which we do not want any leaders in this present time to end up that way.
True.
Where they find out what we did wrong, because we cannot have our leaders struck down like that.
That's true. That's true.
So, and I asked him this question: why do you require that of your leaders? Because you see, nobody talks about Marcus Garvey.
Yeah, true.
Because he didn't catch a bullet in the head. And Malcolm was struck down and King was struck down, so we remember them. We don't remember Douglas.
True.
We don't talk about, I'm glad to see the
Booker T.
Not one word. Not one word about Booker T. Washington. And Booker T. Washington was probably this country's greatest black son. Can you imagine?
Greater than Douglas? That's another show, Brother Balls. But
only because
Douglas and the boys.
only because he was institution built.
Okay.
Douglas was great.
That's significant, yeah.
But Douglas did not build out of scratch, coming out of off the plantation. They both came off the plantation.
Yeah.
Douglas did not build Tuskegee Institute.
Yeah, true.
Go down there.
That's true.
Go down to Tuskegee Institute sometime.
That's true.
And you'll see.
Yeah.
Right across from the Kellogg building.
Yeah.
All those persons that helped build that institution in that cemetery across from the Kellogg Center.
Okay.
They got all of them over there. George Washington Carver's over there.
Wow.
But then they got the Wizard of Tuskegee, Booker T. Washington, on the outside of the cemetery, right on the edges of it, and it's got a monument there, a big boulder, and it says this, Washington.
Yeah.
Douglas didn't have that.
Oh man,
Douglas is great now.
He's great now.
But institution building is what we have to be right now.
True.
And that school is still there now.
Yeah.
Standing strong because what Washington built is there forever. And the fact of the matter is that this is what the Egyptians would say, he who builds forever lives forever.
Okay.
And so we talked. So see, the next stage. We kept saying, what's the next step? King asked, where do we go from here? Well, from building the movement to building the institutions for the movement, because we have to have institutions. We have to exist inside of institutions. That's how you move the country forward. That's how you move yourself forward.
Absolutely.
You have to have an institution. We lost a lot of that when King fell on that floor, and when Malcolm fell on that floor. Self-determination. A lot of that got lost. So where do we go from here? We have to go from what we learned from their legacy, and then move into what we need to be doing right now, but not going over the same. This is not a treadmill.
True.
Going over the same territory to arrive at the same point.
It's true.
It's to arrive at a higher destiny at this point. And we have to begin to talk about something we don't talk about too much. That's what we're doing with the money. Not just why is the money. What are we doing with the money? $1 trillion a year of income. That's twice of what I'm going to Africa in May, and it'll be twice what all of the African nations south of the Sahara Desert, $500 billion collectively of all those nations in Africa. Black people in America have $1 trillion of income.
Wow.
Every year. So the $18 trillion of the economy in the United States, the GNP being $18 trillion, $1 trillion of that is in our hands.
Wow.
And you know what we're doing? Kicking it out of our hands and kicking it into another part of the community that does not represent our interests. Not against their interests, but for our interests. And the money in our hands, we have to understand how to make some use of it so that it has utility with the people that we are trying to bring up. And we're trying to bring it up because we want the nation to go up.
Absolutely.
And if we are not going up, the nation doesn't go up as much. So I want the nation to go up. But I understand that we are an essential part of the nation. And we have to go up if the nation's going to go further than where it is right now. We are a very critical part of that. Now, did you want to talk about the...
I want to bring in Brother Beyonce to get the millennial view here. Professor Moss has shared a lot, right?
Shared a lot.
But starting with the ballot, right? What do you think about the millennial perspective as it relates to the vote, since we're in an election year and so forth? What's the significance of the ballot or the vote?
Well, the significance of the vote is like... you can't really fathom how significant it is because... People don't vote like they. People don't vote.
Your peers aren't involved as engaged as you.
I want to say all my peers aren't because I have a lot of peers that do vote. I mean, I'm part of NAACP.
Yes. Okay.
And then I'm also a graduating class of Next Gen, which is designed to prepare us for higher leadership in the NAACP, but also in our careers. Okay. When it comes to getting people to vote, I almost feel like it's pulling teeth. I have some friends that are madly influential. Like, I feel like I should give them but listen to Professor Morgan. I'm like, oh man, I want to call Haley up. She's black. She's black. But I want to call Haley up because she's the African American AAS. And all that stuff. And she's ADOS? Yeah, when how you spitting out dates like this? I'm like, oh,
well, he's a historian. She
is too.
Okay.
Matter of fact, can I get your contact?
All right.
But I agree with what you're saying about the millennials. You know,
it's not just millennials.
It is. Right.
It is. Yeah. Because like our demographic, the point of the program that I just graduated from was for the age group of 21 to 40. I was 35 at that time, but millennials to get them involved in NAACP because a lot of people. The trend was that people around my age they kind of move away from it and then come back once they're like their 50s or older. But like. Our voter turnout rate was atrocious, absolutely atrocious. And I'm asking people, are they gonna vote? And I see some of my friends trying to get people to vote. Well, one of the comments, they were like, my friend put like, don't complain about like the things that's going on if you don't get up and vote. And they said they were gonna sit down and complain.
Really? Not vote and still complain.
How petty is that? Like,
They don't complain about
the things that's going on. Like, things that's going on. They're like, don't complain. Because that's why one of our points, like, how are you going to complain about something when you can do something about it? Right?
Absolutely.
And people don't want to do anything about it. I'm like, whoa,
that's amazing right there now.
Yeah. It's like people are giving up too easy.
Yeah.
When you're talking, I'm just like, okay, I'm nodding. I'm like, I didn't want to get you off your flow, but I'm just.
You're making a good point. You know, this is. They were saying that the millennials were coming out for Bernie Sanders. You know, because in your I think you might have missed the that part about the freeness.
Yeah.
You know, everything is free when you come up now.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't have to pay for anything, right? Free education, free this, free that, free healthcare. You know,
everything's free.
Live with your parents until you're 26 years old. My mom threw me out of the house when I was 17. I finished high school. Get out of here.
Oh, you didn't make it to 18.
No. My mom, I was raised in a single family household. My mom expected me to get out of the house at 7. When I finished high school, she had done her job. And my mom called. I remember my mom calling my dad up. My dad was in Detroit, and I'm in Birmingham. And my mom called my dad up. And she said, Reverend, she said, talk to him. In other words, he's still here. And so I got on the phone. My dad asked me. He said, "Well, what are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to school, but I stayed out for a semester because I'm 17 and I don't feel ready right now to go right into college because I had been skipped over a couple of grades. So I want to stay out for a while, and then I wanted to go when I was a little bit older. And so I told my dad what my plan was, but my mom did not want a person she considered to be grown. As in high school, you're grown. That's the old school.
True,
the new school is stay there until you're collecting Social Security. I mean, this is crazy. My mom could not relate to this world. And I want to ask
absolutely
you the question here about when you came out of high school,
right?
Were you was that at the time when they had gotten this idea that life was the freebies and you don't have to get out of the house and
for me, like I'm raised by my grandparents, so no. I actually, when I graduated high school, I went to Michigan State because they always said like when you graduate, you either go to college or you get a job. And now it's more like trades too, but trades are dying, by the way. Go get a trade. But I get what you're saying. It's a combination because like now it's, I don't know. Some places you can just work and you can survive, but like nowadays you have to get like 2-3 jobs. There's also a joke on the internet where it's like survive in Michigan, you have to have like 2 jobs and a little bit of fraud to survive. But you know, it's like I was about to put my head down. I live with my grandparents right now, but you know that's only because once I graduated, I didn't have a job lined up, and I didn't want to like just get something and possibly struggle even more until I got something I feel. Now it's like I'm about to go to grad school, so I'm gonna leave out of the house soon and go embark on my journey. But things have changed a lot, but I want to get back into like the ballot and things because like they say we don't really get involved in stuff, and I'm like, well, for me, my household, they never actually taught me anything about like, politics or why they voted for anything at all.
Right.
Every issue was completely silent. So like, once I got old enough to vote, actually, I excel in everything I do. So like, I looked at things and I learned stuff on my own. But I know I'm an outlier.
Okay.
I know I'm an outlier. I'm not part of like the main statistics. So, and I knew that since I was a kid.
Absolutely.
Most of the things I did was like high level. Like I was my high school valedictorian. So I know like I know I can't compare my life to other people's. I gotta like actually pay attention and understand. If you're not taught something or like it's not part of your culture, then you don't really put that thought into it. So like when people don't vote, and voting. The census coming up too.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
money.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And I hope people actually, because we have a lot of hard to count communities
True.
in Flint, all around the country.
Absolutely.
But all these things like trickle down. So people don't vote.
Absolutely.
So, like you were saying, the policies and racist things that want to go on, those happen because people sit idly by.
Absolutely.
And then, so many people are reactive instead of proactive.
True. Very true. Very true.
And it's just like it's not even like repeating this.
Yeah.
It's not even repeating. It's more like the people making the decisions. They know because they're making the long plan.
True.
They're like,
True.
we have the statistics.
Absolutely.
They have mathematical minds. They're planning. While we sit highly by, people. My grandparents, they tell me, why are you like with the volunteering and the stuff I do, like as an activist. They tell me, why am I doing this? Worry about yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
But a lot of people worry about themselves.
You were valedictorian of your class.
Yeah, high school.
Yeah. What was the stimulus that motivated you to accomplish so much?
Well, for a long time, academics was like one of my things. I was good at academics and sports, but like,
you played football?
No, I used to play like other sports. Baseball was actually mine.
Okay.
I got a bigger bill once I got a little bit older, eating too much.
But you play baseball?
Yeah, I used to play baseball. I was great at it. So.
You got my attention now. You got my attention.
Oh, you like baseball?
I played 2 years of. When I ran out of money, I had to find a way to fund my last 2 years. I made myself good. So now you play baseball. What position are we talking about?
Third base.
Third base?
Then outfield. Usually left field. But I told them I'd rather go like center because like more balls came that way.
Oh yeah.
Like, and then third base is the most versatile one.
Yeah.
And like one of the most important ones before you get home.
Absolutely.
So like I was like, okay, high pressure. I got like my highlight was like a double play back. Well, it was like back way back. But yeah, look, I don't know why I gave that up. There's no excuse for that.
A lot of us do.
Cause like I remember my barber, rest in peace to him. But like he was like, BJ, you could have probably been pro if you wanted to. Like, why did you stop? Why did you stop?
Yeah.
And I used to get like.
You were a good hitter.
Yeah, I was decent. I wasn't that good of a hitter. But then I got better.
Yeah.
You know, my poverty was a part of my success on the baseball diamond because we used to, those broom handles.
Yeah.
We used to cut the broom part off, the sweeping part off.
Yeah.
And that would be a bat. Being poor, you couldn't buy a bat.
Right.
Then we go to the store. This is in the black neighborhood in Birmingham.
Yeah.
You go to the store and they empty out the tops.
You
used to have those bottles. You have to put them in the thing that pops the tops off. And we go get the whole tray of tops in a bag.
Yeah.
Take them to our little playing field, and they would throw the top. You know how those tops flip?
Absolutely.
And so you hit them with that little skinny bat, and they're throwing those tops up there. And if you don't hit those tops, you're swinging with that skinny bat. Then you're striking out, and you're out. When I played college baseball, when they threw that ball up there, you know how that ball looked?
Yeah.
I thought that was a basketball.
Oh, look at that.
I was that kind of guy. You're always searching for a way to get upper hand.
Absolutely.
You know what I would do?
Yeah.
Make it harder for
I was 5'7". I weighed 172, soaking wet. So I batted number 2 in the lineup.
Yeah.
All the people on the other team had never heard of me until the word got around.
Yeah.
And that was, I would drag my bat to the plate. I have no energy. I pick the dirt up like this right here and throw it down like that. The guy in left field coming in 5 more feet. He's sizing me up. I can't hit. He doesn't know I'm taking everything inside.
You go.
And I'm driving that ball down that left field line. I'm a line drive hitter.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I would suck him in. When I got to South Carolina State, that's another black college. We were let's see, our league was the SWIC, I think it was, Southwestern. I forget the name of it now, but we were in the Southern Conference. And they said to me, they call me that N-word. We done heard about you. You that so and so. You that N word. You that so and so that drag your plate to drag your bat to the plate like you don't have no energy. I sucking those guys in. As soon as they threw that ball, and I didn't care what they threw. I was like Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
I don't say I can hit like Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
But I tell you this, when they asked Hank Aaron, they said, What do you look for when you go to the plate? Talking about the fastball, the drop, the curve.
Yeah.
I look for the ball. I look for the ball. I didn't care what they threw. Because I had hit those tops.
Yeah.
So every time they threw the ball up there, my eyes get big. I said to myself, they would ask me to say, what are you talking about at the plate? I was saying to myself, I don't believe this. Get myself, energized and all that. I tell you another thing I was saying. I was saying I am not letting anybody on that mound send me back to beans and cornbread. We had beans and cornbread every day.
Oh no!
Because it was soupy, we feed 5 children. Yeah. My mom had to stretch things out. Love her to death and all of that. And and let me say this also. My mom would be on her 100th birthday on 2022.
My goodness.
I'll be in Birmingham. I'll tell you this. She deceased in 1980. I'll be in Birmingham.
Absolutely.
2022 to pay my homage to Elaine Foster Moss.
Absolutely.
Because my mom stood in the gap between my craziness and going out of control and doing something very different. Yeah. And everything that I achieved it because my mom stood in the gap.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking you, Brenda.
Absolutely.
What was the motivation, for you to go forward? Yes. Because we all had something in our lives that stimulated us to go forward.
Absolutely.
So my motivation, man, I have a few. For one, I'm always I drive by excellence. I like being different. I like being excellent. Once I found out I was good at math, I'm like, okay. Let me put some focus into it. I wouldn't say it's natural. It's just a feeling I got. It's just a feeling.
Yeah. You always good in school? You always?
I wouldn't say always. I wasn't that good when I first started, but once I started putting more focus into it, then I started to get good. It was like, I put my thoughts. I made sure I didn't want to just do things other people did. I like being different. I like putting my effort in and doing things great. When I graduated, for example, when I graduated high school, I kind of took a seat back and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be involved in everything, and I was actually miserable because I just had too much free time. I had too much time. It wasn't like, I could go study and stuff, but I like being active. I like doing things. So I just, even now, I dedicate my time to improving my life in some ways, in some fashion. My grandparents here, is probably you need to clean more. But
how many people in your group that your friendship, your colleagues, and the person that you're around are as focused as you are?
Oh, a lot of them actually. I've been doing great at surrounding myself with, they say birds of a flock together.
Absolutely.
And if you want to get far, if you want to get there fast, you go alone. You want to get there far, you go together. So my friends I graduated from middle school. I know them since middle school at International Academy of Flint. We've been friends and tight. They have their own podcast that they do. They have their own company that they do, and I help out when I can and stuff like that. But success, you just surround yourself by success. Absolutely. And I made sure if I saw somebody, like you said, we're all flawed, right? We're all flawed. Absolutely. But if I see somebody doing something that's continuous and not gonna put me in the right direction, I'm like, okay, no, I can't do that. Absolutely. We have fun. I definitely like to have fun, but. I can't have somebody that every time I see them, we're not talking about how can we go further, how can we make some money, how can we build something, build an institution. Absolutely. And that's what I do. That's what I do now. One of my friends, she's part of Next Gen. She's 2020 class. I'm actually the state lead for the Next Gen program, and we just. We just move on. They're my support system too. They know. Absolutely. They were they were like, Beyonce, why aren't you like Rick yet? And I'm like,
26?
Yeah, I'm 26. I'm like, why aren't you Rick yet? And I was just like, dang, man.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
At one point, everyone's telling me that. Like, oh man, he gonna go far. I'm like, I appreciate it because they still support me now. I'm like, man, I appreciate it.
Now, did you come out of Southwestern or what?
International Academy of Flint.
International Academy.
So sorry, I want to.
No, that's on Sagamore Street, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's a good school, though.
Yeah.
It's still good. It used to be better, and I heard it was even better before I even. I was there when they had awards, but still, it's still a good school, and I love it to death. I just wanted to all of our schools are like taking a hit, like the Flint water crisis, all this stuff just took a major hit onto our city. But I don't want to be dour right now.
When I think about Dr. King, I think about Dr. King's commitment was for people like you.
Absolutely.
The doors open. And those that, I mean, we don't have the excuses we had back in the time period when they had doors that were closed to our advancement. Those doors are not closed the way they were closed at that time. Whatever the impediments are now, they're not nearly what they were in our grandparents' days.
I believe that.
And for them to overcome what they overcame. And you were talking about they didn't say a whole lot. My mom, you know what? I didn't really find out what my mom did for a living until I saw the film called The Help.
Absolutely.
My wife was passing me tissue after tissue. Because I was just in tears because I did not understand what my mom did when she went across town. You know why? Because my mom never came back with any complaints about it.
Okay.
You know, we've been complaining about how they're treating you.
Yes.
They're over there doing this. You see what they're doing to them over there. But my mom looked at it as a way of putting some shoes on her children's feet so they can go to school.
Absolutely.
And so she was not going down the job because her mindset was that's how she pays her bills. Now, what we're doing is complaining all the time. Shut up. What are you complaining about? My mom at the end of my mom's life, I had told my mom, I wanted my mom to retire. And I said, Mom, I finally got the income that you're making in my check now. Because after I pay my bills, I have this much left over. And I kept watching my check every year. You know, we weren't paying teachers anything at that when I first started out. But as I got into the profession and got more years in, my income increased. And I kept watching my check, paying my bills, watching my check. And when I got that $300 a month, my mom was making $75 a week. And when I got $300 over what I had to pay for my bills, I said, Mom, I want you to retire. I didn't think my mom was going to jump for it. But I know how tired she was. So she never complained.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Let me one other story. I didn't know my mom, I had a mom like that basketball player for Golden State. She was, what was that guy, the tall guy, the 7-foot guy?
Oh, wow.
He's not playing for Golden State anymore, but he played for Golden State.
McGee? What was it, McGee from Flint?
Festus Azili?
No, the one that played.
Andrew Bogut?
The one that played.
From Saginaw?
When they won the championship.
Oh, wow. I forget the name.
You know, the tall, the 7-foot guy. They're shooting from the outside.
European player?
Black guy. He played with Curry and those guys when they won the championship.
I can't think of.
He shoot from outside? He shoot too?
He would shoot outside. It was,
I can't think of his name. I can't think of his name.
I know you know him though.
I can't think of his name.
Anyway, he was he was talking about how his mom would sacrifice and wouldn't eat until the children had eaten. You know what? I didn't know my mom was sacrificing. And it wasn't until I got married. So I got married into a ready-made family.
Yes.
My wife had 3 children. And what attracted me to that was my mom raised 5 children. I always wanted somebody to help my mom out. So I saw somebody in that predicament. That attracted me to my wife. I didn't run from it, I ran toward it. But I didn't know until I got married. I got 3 children now, and we all at the table at our first meal. And those little rascals grabbing all their chicken out the basket, all the biscuits gone. And I'm sitting there as a spectator at the table. I'm just like Malcolm again.
Yeah.
Malcolm said, I ain't going to sit at your table with nothing on my plate and call myself a diner.
That's right.
I'm sitting there grabbing all the chicken. I got the big piece of chicken.
Yeah.
You know what I thought about?
What's that?
I said, oh, that's what my mom was sacrificing. I didn't
Absolutely.
know that.
Absolutely.
I did not know my mom. I thought when you got to be older and you got to be an adult, you weren't hungry.
Absolutely.
Because my mom, I would call her and say, Mom, you want anything? Because if she didn't want anything, we could have a larger patty.
Yeah.
We'd have pork and beans and maybe a hamburger and pork and beans.
Yeah.
And all the bread you could eat, kind of fill yourself up. And I would always ask my mom, you want anything? She'd always say no. It wasn't until I was sitting at that table at the first, this was not the last supper, this was the first supper.
Yeah.
And at that first supper with those children, I look back and say, wow. That's when I really began to understand my mom a lot more. The sacrificial things she did.
Yeah.
And I was telling you earlier, in 2022, George Moss would be on that plane down to Birmingham. I would be at that gravesite.
Absolutely.
To pay homage because Elaine Foster Moss did it. She did her job. And I think she trained us to be the persons that she wanted us to be. And I that's why I was so interested in your testimony. Because I don't think you can curse your parents anymore for them to have put all that investment in your upbringing.
Right.
And you turn out to be a fool. Whether your pants on the ground or not. You know what I'm saying? Pants on the ground, like a fool with your pants whether your pants on the ground or not. If you didn't do anything, then what was all that sacrifice about?
No doubt.
What were they doing? Out there going to work every day, and then you over here in prison.
That's right.
I didn't have it. So I pay my respects.
You know what? I'm not asked that often, so it's hard for me to like remember it. But not just my internal things, but like external. Like there's a lot of people that put like work into me. I wasn't just raised by my grandparents, but I was raised by my extended family. A lot of them in the past, like babysitting me, taught me etiquette. Taught me like a lot of things that like my values. Like my Aunt Cat, for example. She was a wonderful, bright person. Always sat with a smile. Gave did not matter. Always gave something. Taught you how to save your money. Took us places that we probably wouldn't. I wouldn't have been so. I wouldn't have been like more cultured. Or just like people were telling me like. One of my coworkers, he was telling me he never been out of the not just the country, but like not out of the state. And I'm just like, when I learned like later on, a lot of people haven't been out of the state.
True.
Michigan, sometimes not even Flint. And I'm just like, oh snap, like I've been blessed. So like, who am I? Like you said, who am I to be less? That's gonna be depressing for me. Like I've been so depressed at times when I feel like I'm not doing my best. And that's probably why I felt like when I was at college not doing everything I could because I was like I'm depressed because I'm like how can I be the best?
Absolutely.
How can I not be the best? How can I not do my best?
Absolutely.
When people put so much
Yes, absolutely. So
King and Malcolm gave their life for people like you and others that are fulfilling the promise. It's not over. You know, as bad as things may look, it's not over. I mean, people like you all the time. You know, we look at all the other stuff, but a lot of positives are going on among our youth also, and we have to hold on to that.
That's true.
And every morning I get up excited.
Absolutely.
You know why? Because I recognize what we're doing as a collective, group. It's not going to work. What we're doing, spending our tires going over the treadmill type of thing, the same terrain, doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome. It's not going to work. The optimism is that knowing that we're not applying the right solutions to the problem, I'm not disappointed in the outcome because I understand the outcome is certain. You apply the wrong solution, you get the wrong outcome. Once we get on the right trail and begin to do the right things that will advance us forward, and we are doing the things that King was talking about, when he said he may not get there with us. Then I know once we begin to apply those things that will get us to the promised land that King talked about, that is possible to all of us because we have the energy to do it. We have all the talent to do it. We have people like yourself coming and your friends and so many others like you that are going to carry us over that bridge that King talked about. This thing is not over. This experiment is going forward. And
so how do we get there then, Brother Moss? How do we get there? We were asking a question about the plan. Where's the plan at, right? So how do we get to this place of change and whatnot?
Well, you know yourself, Victor, that everybody has to understand their role.
Yeah.
Our children have to understand the role is to be the best students you can be.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be in any classroom while you're not sitting in the front of the class. And if the boys are in the back of the room and they're talking, go up there and sit with the girls.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, say the girls up there doing their work, go up there and sit with them. But the girls not tearing the classroom up there, sitting there doing their work.
All right.
So if you got to be a girly man by walking up,
a girly man.
Yeah, to go up there to the front of the room and sit with the girls. If they're the ones doing the work, stop sitting in the back of the classroom.
True.
And get your hand up in the air.
True.
Act like you can't take your hand down. Because you know you studied your lesson. Get your books out of your locker. Can we do that? Carry your books home. And start talking about the school. The building is failing. It ain't failing on the weekend.
Yeah.
Failing schools. Schools not. You cannot tell Elaine Foster Moss when I brought those grades home, the building failed. Failing school. Those are my grades. They got the children thinking the building is failing. No, you're not. Your books in your locker. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Let the students understand that role. Right? Understand this other thing in terms of the biblical verse as you're a minister, Brother Victor.
Yes.
Honor your father and your mother.
Absolutely.
You know why? It's because of what Gwendolyn Brooks said. We left school. She said, we real cool. We left school. We jazz June. We die soon.
My goodness.
Because you see, the reason why you honor your father and your mother is because if you honor your father and your mother, they can show you through their experience where all the minefields are. Because you cannot find them out at your age. You don't have enough experience.
True.
The level of the adults will always be a different level of experience. The people back in that time period, they didn't have the degrees you have, and you have, and I have.
Yes.
What they had was tremendous understanding based on how long they lived. And we in those communities, we listened to the old people. They didn't have the degrees, and they didn't always speak with the right kind of grammatical intent.
True.
But they were profound in what they said to us. Do you hear anybody saying this today, for example? Does anybody say, you made your bed?
Yeah, lie in it.
No, you lay in it.
Not anymore.
What happened to that?
Yeah.
Because they weren't rescuing you out of, honey, you made a mistake. Let me help you with that. They weren't doing that. You made your bed, you lay in it.
Right.
And there you go. I made a lot of mistakes, but you know what? I got tired of getting kicked by my own shoes. I kicked myself in my own backside with my own shoes. I got tired of that. I had to make better decisions.
Excuse me. Well, gentlemen, we have 2 minutes left, so it's time now for our parting thoughts. Any parting thoughts from both of you gentlemen in terms of covering the terrain that we had in our conversation today?
I want to say this, and I'll shut up. I know I'm talking too much. Got this young warrior here, but I would say this: that we have some work to do. And we must work in the energy of the fathers and the mothers that brought us over the bridge. We have some work we got to do. This task has got to be finished. King was talking about getting to the promised land. He's not here now. But we are here. And the difference we can make is in our commitment to making the difference. The king is not here to make anymore, and to move forward in his understanding of things.
Be the change.
Fantastic.
Man. So it's been definitely a wonderful time, and I would say that, to extend off of that, really, definitely make a change. But when you say that, I felt honored by what you said about me, and I feel even more solace knowing that I have a large group of people that do more than I do, and I can learn from them. And we're definitely doing it. We're building that institution. We're going to be building that institution soon. It just takes time because I'm 26, so
absolutely.
I'm 26, so 8 years ago I was 18. They weren't gonna listen to me yet.
Well, gentlemen, we thank you for being in the radio station with us today. Brother Professor Moss and Brother Briante Brown. It's good having you here. Look forward to having you back in the future. You've been listening, ladies and gentlemen, to Whose Opinion Is It Anyway on 92.1 FM WFOV. Peace.